Hi, I'm Danny Yale. I'm a lender in El Paso, Texas with People's Mortgage, and I help people buy homes. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about down payment assistance and how you can use that to help buy your first home. So, first, we're going to talk about what is down payment assistance, and then we're going to go over, why you might want to use it, and finally, we're going to look at a scenario where you do take down payment assistance and how the numbers work out. So, as always, I'm here to answer any of your questions. If you're looking at buying a house, or you think you might want to buy a house in the next 5 years and you want to pick my brain, it's free to talk. So feel free to send me an email, give me a phone call, shoot me a text. I'm here to help. So, without further ado, let's answer the question of what is down payment assistance. So, down payment assistance is a way to come up with the down payment and the closing costs when you're buying a house. Um, this money is given to home buyers from specific down payment assistance programs. So, you cannot get down payment assistance from some rich woman you met at a bar who wants to help you buy a house. Um, Maybe you can work something else out with her, but that would not fall under down payment assistance. So when you go to buy a house, there are only three ways that you can come up with a down payment. Either you come in with the down payment yourself, you get a gift from a family member, or you take down payment assistance from an organization. Usually these are entities that the local government creates, or sometimes they're just nonprofits that want to help a certain part of the population buy a home. So um, that's what down payment assistance is, and that's how you can use it when you're buying a house. Some of the reasons people want to use down payment assistance is because they don't want to have to save for years and years until they have enough money to put towards a down payment and closing costs. Because, waiting all that time, they're probably spending money on rent, or they're living in their parents' basement. And, nobody wants to have to wait for something that they want. So they take down payment assistance. But there are some drawbacks with down payment assistance, and we'll look at that specifically in the when I bring up the numbers. But just know that down payment assistance does not mean free money. There's no such thing as a free lunch. You're gonna you're gonna pay that back. You're gonna pay back the down payment assistance over time through a higher interest rate. So down payment assistance is not for everybody, but it is a great option if you have no other options and you really have to buy a house. Um, so I want to show you guys a down payment assistance program that I've used to help people buy homes in the past. It is specific to Texas. So if you don't live in Texas, this program won't work for you unless you're planning on moving here and buying in Texas. However, there is likely a down payment assistance program in your state that can work for you. So let me know if you want me to do some research and find a good program for you. Just a reminder, I'm licensed in not just Texas, but also New Mexico, Arizona, California, Florida, and Virginia. So I'm in 6 states and have helped people buy homes in all of those states. But let's get back to this Texas-specific program, this down payment assistance program, is called Texas State Affordable Housing Corporation, or TSAC. And you guys can go to this website and do some research. There's information about some of their requirements in order to qualify for this program, but I'm not going to go into all that. For today's video, I'm just going to click here under lenders and go to today's interest rates. And you will see a lot of these rates are unavailable, not applicable. So because interest rates have doubled in the past 8 months, 9 months, a lot of down payment assistance programs have had to go away, unfortunately so. But there are a few options still available. We do have these FHA, VA, and USDA assistance for 2% down payment assistance, 3% down payment assistance, and 4% assistance. And then you do have one option here, conventional, and 3 options conventional if you make below a certain, this is area median income. So if you make below a certain income level, you can be eligible for this type of conventional down payment assistance. If you make above that, you're only eligible for this 2%. And then what we're going to be looking at today is we're going to look at a VA buyer scenario. And I'm going to show you, what it looks like if you take 2% assistance, 3% assistance. I don't think I showed 4%, but we'll get into that in a little bit. I do want to say, it says minimum FICO score or minimum credit score that you have to have is a 620 or a 640. With my company, People's Mortgage, you have to have a minimum credit score of a 680. That's a middle credit score. So anything below that, I won't be able to offer you down payment assistance until we get your credit score up over that mark. And if your credit is below 680, then please get in touch with me. I'd be happy to work with you to talk some strategies about how you can improve your credit score. And if it's something you're not interested in speaking with me about, just reach out and ask for a referral to a credit repair company. I have somebody really good that I work with that can help get your credit scores up so that you can qualify for whether it be down payment assistance or just to improve your credit and use that as a tool moving forward in your life. So let's get back to down payment assistance. Like I said, we're going to talk about a VA loan with a couple of different assistance options. And so let me just explain this chart a little bit. If you were to do a 2% down payment assistance, that comes with an interest rate of 6.625%. So with a traditional loan that does not have any down payment assistance, your interest rate is really, there are a number of different factors that will determine your interest rate. None of those factors play any part whenever you're using down payment assistance. You are just subject to the down payment assistance program's designated interest rate. So if you take 2% assistance, then you get this interest rate. If you bump that up to 3% assistance, so let's say you're buying a $250,000 house, 3% of that is $7,500. You get $7,500 to put towards buying a house, and your interest rate is 6.875. So these rates are above market. So down payment assistance is not free. You pay it back over time by taking a higher interest rate, and that makes your monthly payment higher. And ultimately you do pay a portion of this assistance back. Now, this is a 3-year deferred forgivable second lien. So what that means is that you have a silent second mortgage on your home. And really, that means you don't have 2 mortgage payments, but you do have 2 mortgages. So you don't really think about it. You're just making one payment. And as long as you make each payment on time for 36 months or 3 years, that second lien is forgiven. If you sell the house within that 3-year period, you have to pay back a portion of this down payment assistance that you took. So with each monthly payment that you make, a small part of your second lien is forgiven. So they break it up into 36 payments, and once those 36 payments are made, your second lien is forgiven. If you sell or if you refinance within that 36-month period, you have to pay a portion of that second lien back. So you can't just, buy a house, live in it for a year, and then move on with your life and keep the advantage of that down payment assistance. They're asking you to commit to living in that home for 3 years. Otherwise, you've got to pay a portion of that money back, which I think is fair. So let's get into some numbers. I've got a presentation here, and this is showing if you take 2% assistance on a $250,000 house, what your monthly payment would be, and then what your total cash to close would be. So if you're a VA buyer, which is what this scenario is about, you don't have to come in with any kind of a down payment. So you're not going to pay anything towards the principal of your loan. So we're looking at a $250,000 purchase price. As a VA buyer, you have a funding fee to use that loan, which means you get actually that funding fee gets added to your loan amount, which is why your loan is higher than the purchase price. And this is the interest rate, the 6.625 that the 2% assistance dictates. And then you get this monthly payment. Now, this monthly payment includes principal and interest, property taxes. This is if you're buying a house in El Paso, this is with using a 3% property tax rate. So that might be high if you're somewhere else in Texas. And then $100 for homeowner's insurance gets your monthly payment to right about $2,360. So that is with 2% assistance. Now let's look at this 3% assistance. Same purchase price, same loan amount. You've got the funding fee wrapped up into the loan amount. And then you've got the higher interest rate of 6.875 because we're now talking about if you got 3% down payment assistance given to you. So because you took that 3% down payment assistance, your cash to close is much lower. It's $1,100. However, your monthly payment goes up by about $43 compared to the 2% assistance. So that's because you've got the higher interest rate right here. So let's compare that to this scenario. And this is if you were to buy a house for $250, wrap up your funding fee into the loan, but you take a much lower interest rate because you're not taking any down payment assistance. You're just paying for the expenses out of pocket. You're going to come out of pocket about 10 grand in today's market. But you've got a monthly payment that's $126 lower than if you took 3% assistance. So, obviously $10,000 it's about 10 times the expense of this 3% assistance. But $126 is $126. It's not chump change. But really what I think is an important thing to think about and look at is you would only want to do this option, this option that costs you 10 grand and saves you $126 a month. You'd only want to do that if you think you're going to refinance your house within 3 years. Reason being, because if rates were to drop down to the 4.5% range, you can refinance your house. This scenario is if you refinance after 1 year, 12 months. This is what your remaining loan balance would be after 12 months. You could get a monthly payment that's almost $400 cheaper than if you did this 3% option. So the reason I say that you would possibly consider this no assistance option is only if you thought you might refinance in a year. Which very well could be the case. We might see interest rates fall down to somewhere in this range. And if that happens, then you can refinance and you can start to save, $400 a month. If I just do some quick math here, 391 times 24 months, you can save, that's 10, it's not quite $10,000. But I think you guys can see my point. If you do have an opportunity to refinance your house, you can save quite a bit of money, call it $4,500 a year, compared to this 3% option where you're kind of handcuffed. You have to either stay in this loan for 3 years, or whenever you go to refinance, you have to pay back some money to the down payment assistance program. So, kind of a tough call there, sort of a wash, but something that I think you should be keeping in mind if you're looking at using down payment assistance, or, if you're thinking about coming in with your own down payment, just, understand there's a little less flexibility if you're looking at using down payment assistance. Now, on the other side of that, using down payment assistance, if that's your only option, or if, the other option would be to wait, then I would encourage you to move forward with down payment assistance, because it's a great way to get into a house for really cheap. Just understand that, it's not something I would suggest you do if you have the money sitting in your bank and you just think you're going to get free money. Like I've shown you, it does cost you money over time to use down payment assistance, and then you are a little bit restricted with what you can do once you own the house within that first 3-year period. So I hope that you guys found this video helpful. I hope it was good training on what down payment assistance is, how it can help you buy a home, and also the considerations that you should run through to decide if it's best for you and your family, or if other options are better. So if you found this helpful, please give it a like, share with your friends. If you are in the military, post it to a Facebook group. As much as I love creating these videos, I love helping people buy homes as well. So any referrals that you guys can help me get, I would be forever grateful. And just want to help the community, want to help people buy homes. So trying to get the word out there on the different options that there are, and be a resource for all of you guys here watching my YouTube video. So thanks again for tuning in. I'll be back next week with more knowledge for you.